So it's education time. Today's October 11th, 2019, 10 a.m. So this is Soundstream 300. It's a Class A amplifier. It's been modified for my buddy Josh. So this is kind of like a video it's like a throwback to the old timers. So you'll hear these old guys talk about radios, and they'll say, you know, you have to let it warm up before it sounds good. So that's actually a thing, right? So I'm gonna bring up this amplifier. What we're doing is we're gonna set the bias on these channels. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just turn the bias all the way down on this channel. The other one's already set. I'll leave it as it is. It doesn't really matter. We're only testing the one channel. But here, I'll turn on my power supply and I'll show you. So 12.5 volts. The amp is on. So this is voltage being measured from the emitter of tip 102 and tip 107. So the ideal setting here is 60 millivolts DC. So we'll put our screwdriver into the pot adjustment here. This is basically how we're going to set our bias, right? So if we look at the oscilloscope, multimeter, we start turning this clockwise, this value is going to increase. So what you want to do is you want to turn this until you get into that ballpark of 60 millivolts. See, I'm still turning clockwise ever so slightly. Let's stop at maybe 55. Because what you'll notice is that as we sit here and let this amplifier come up to temperature, this will slowly rise on its own. So I'm not turning it anymore. I took my screwdriver out. So it's really kind of a time-consuming process. You can't just turn this thing up to 60, turn your supply off, and set it and leave it, because once it reaches operating voltage, it's going to be out of spec. So you really need to let the amp sit here for a couple of minutes and just warm up, and then you'll want to make like kind of micro adjustments to that. I usually let it sit here for like 10 minutes or so, and then undoubtedly I think it's going to end up climbing above 60. I've set a few of these. I have some idea as to where it should be when it's complete. So if we look at this one, it's got some writing on the potentiometer, and it's pointed to the kind of the first leg of the letter N. It's the word Borns. So if we look at the other one, it's pretty much in that same neighborhood. We may have nailed it first right off the bat. But I mean, yeah, that's how you set that. So yeah, it's just going to gradually climb. I don't really want to sit here for the next 7 minutes and watch it. But I mean, that's how the procedure goes.